Oh man, can I complain about the healthcare system in the
Sure.
United States for a second?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So okay, at the end of 2019, I was broke still, right? Because I was driving for the dealership, and that sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I signed up for a healthcare plan through the marketplace, and I was broke at the end of 2019,
Right.
as previously stated. And they was like, "Hey, how much are you gonna make next year?" And I went, "Probably nothing." So I signed up with roughly what I had made that year as a projection, and they were like, "All right, tell you what, your healthcare, we'll give you this plan, and it'll cost you this much, but with all of the tax credit with your broke ass, it'll cost you $0." And I went, "Yay!"
Oh, good.
And so I signed
Okay.
up for free healthcare essentially because I didn't make any money, so they were giving me a big discount. And it was a pretty good plan, not like amazing, but you know, it was pretty good. It was okay. But then I started door dashing and actually making money. And it turns out that when your income changes significantly, you're supposed to go to the marketplace and tell them that so they can remove your tax credit and charge you for your healthcare appropriately. Which I didn't think about that at all.
Because
So
everyone just, that's the top priority on your list.
yeah, instead of trying desperately to pay bills and whatnot, you know, it's I better go tell the healthcare marketplace that I got a better job so they can make me pay more. So
Dude, I never pay bill.
so then the world ended last year. I don't know if you know this, but around about March, everything went all to hell.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's not
I
safe.
think I heard a little bit about that. Yeah.
Right? So now it's not
Yeah.
safe to go to the doctor for anything that's not important. And so now I have free healthcare that I can't use. Well, sorry, a free healthcare plan, not free healthcare. The plan is free. So
Your
then
health is definitely not.
the end of 2020, I go to re-up and I look at how much I had made last year and I use that as my basis for what I think I'll make next year. And it was like, all right, well, the first time I did it, I just sort of threw some numbers in and it was like, okay, instead of free, it'll be cheap. And I went, cheap is fine. And that was for the estimate. But when it went time to actually do the application, I actually went and got all of my tax forms and whatnot and added everything up and punched everything in. And it was like, all right, you make too much money to get any kind of break now. So here's a plan. Here's the plan you had last year. And it'll be like, it was something stupid like $600 a month or something. And I went, so I said, okay, no, give me a different plan. And there was a plan that I found that was absolute dog shit. Like, they didn't pay for anything. Copays were giant. You didn't get any help on prescriptions. Like, as I was reading it, it got worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, this isn't even a healthcare plan. This is a joke. And that was like $450 a month. And I went, I can't afford that. Like, it was bronze, yeah. I was like, I make this much more money than I did last year, and now I can't afford healthcare. I've priced myself out of being able to afford a healthcare plan. Awesome. So I made the decision, I guess I just won't have health insurance next year. And I backed out of the application. I didn't finish it. I didn't hit submit. Nothing. And it turns out that they just took it as that's what I wanted and like I applied. And so they sent me a bill for $800. And I was like, what? But turns out if you just don't pay them, then they rescind it. So, hey, now I don't have healthcare anymore. Awesome.
I
But
mean, that is basically how that works. Yeah.
yeah. So I was getting all my tax stuff together and I was like, all right, I need to get the healthcare form because last year she had to yell at me. She's like, "Yo, I need this form from healthcare," and I went, "I don't know what that is or where that is." She's like, "Google it." I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." And I sent it to her, and she did the thing. So I did that again this year beforehand. I remembered, and I downloaded it, and I opened it up to look at it, and it was like, "Here's how much tax credit you got," and it was like $5,400 in tax credit because I was broke when I signed up for it. But because I made a lot more, I am terrified that they're gonna want all of that back, or at least most of that back.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so I mentioned this to her when I handed in my tax stuff today, and she opened up everything and plugged in the thumb drive and opened stuff up and started doing like a quick little check around, and she went, nah, you're probably fine. And I went, I'm not gonna believe that until the finished product is in my hand and you make me sign it. She went, well, fair enough. Because like making more money than I did the previous year is really low bar. But also I made like presumably because of the pandemic, Patreon dropped by a lot. And
Yeah.
I'm talking like 20% a lot. But DoorDash more than made up for that, so that's fine. But it's still like, and I think Twitch ramped up this year. And that's about it as far as increases. Everything else went down. But I'm just absolutely terrified that she's gonna be like, "Yeah, you owe like $4,000." I'll go, eh. Although she did ask, "Did you get stimulus checks?" I said, "Yeah, I got the first one." She goes, "You got the $1,200?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Did you get the $600?" I went, "No." She said, "Really?" I said, "Yes, really." She said, "Okay." And she wrote down a 0. And then she goes, "What about the $1,400?" I said, "No." She said, "You should probably check the website." I said, "I did." She said, "What does it say?" I was like, "It says nothing." She went, "Huh." So yeah, I have not gotten any stimuli since the first one. I gotta stimulate myself. It's terrible. It's what happens when you're single. But what was I saying? But apparently for the $600 one, if you didn't get it, then you get a tax credit. So that's cool. So that'll help with the health insurance. But because nothing that I don't make any money that takes out taxes. Patreon doesn't withhold anything. Twitch doesn't withhold anything. DoorDash doesn't withhold anything. So I take a chunk out of everything I get and throw it in a savings account and hope it's enough. So, but even that I didn't start doing for like half the year. So like I'm terrified she's gonna hit me with some giant number, and I'm going to immediately shit right in her office. And then after I clean that up, I'll have to cry. Which is ridiculous. That is a very real fear that I have. But that's the way this country works.
Mm-hmm.
Like without the healthcare thing, I'm pretty sure I'm fine. But with that, I'm like, oh God, they're gonna want it all back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's fun. Isn't that fun? I thought it was fun. Please kill me. Not fun? No, not fun. There.
I mean,
self-employment is rough. You keep getting a thing from Uber and Lyft with some offers for health insurance. I mean, yeah, but it's still the same thing. They're like, hey, you can sign up for a plan right now. And I made the mistake of clicking on the first one. And it took me right back to Stripe, which just looks at the healthcare marketplace. And I went, well, I know how much that costs. So when I said I was doing the double flip off. So
kind of figured. I mean, that's not the sound your fingers would make, but yet somehow that is still exactly
it just fits,
came to
doesn't
mind.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's been weighing on my mind. That, and I've got to get my apartment cleaned up because I'm having company, and so I have to. I really don't want my company to think that I'm a horrible trash goblin, even though I am. So I have to like deep clean this place, and I've been putting it off for like 2 weeks because, well, not putting it off. I've been taking care of other stuff for like 2 weeks, and now I was like, oh, it's less than 2 weeks away. So
Nice to know that the steady march of time has betrayed you once again.
it's a thing that Ellie and I talked about actually while I was dropping off my taxes. I mentioned Sam because I asked her how the baby was, because last time I saw her, which was tax time last year, she had a relatively fresh baby, and she's like, "Oh yeah, she's one, already walking and being sassy," and I went, holy crap, that's right. Time does continue passing for other people. She's like, it does.
It shouldn't, and yet it just.
And yet
keeps
here we
going.
are, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I relayed when I swung by your place to drop off the nice cards from AOK that I saw Sam, and Sam had grown like 1.5 feet.
Mm-hmm. Feels that way.
And it was terrifying. Like, what do you mean time passes for other people? Like, what? And this, by the same note, last time I saw Penny, she was very tiny and just sort of walking around, doing obnoxious things. And then this little girl, like a tiny human person, stuck her head out the door and waved. And I was like, I know that's not Penny. You kidnapped someone else's kid, right? Like,
well, you can't really say it out loud, Chewie.
That's like, hey, Mike, and I think Brian, or one of you. You remember Ryan, the kid from Michigan that we like played Magic with at Lucky's the time when he was on vacation with his family and like arranged it to stop by and meet us, weirdly enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in college.
Oh boy.
Stop it.
Because that was me and Mike and one of you other two, but I can't remember who.
I don't think it was me. I think I got told this story.
Oh, was it just you and me? Oh, okay. Oh, his dad played with us. I was like, there were 4 of us in that game, though.
Yeah, his dad won that last game of Commander that we played.
Yeah. Yeah, he popped up, like, because we're friends on Facebook, and he popped up in my my feed not that long ago. And I went, oh, how's he doing? Oh. He grew up. Who said he could grow up? Damn. I don't know why time passes for other people and not just me, but here we are.
Yeah.
That is
Really
true. When you've been doing a show like this for this long, that will happen. Yeah. Thank you, chat. Have you guys seen... I've seen it on Twitter and Facebook, so I'm sure that most of you seen it. What your brain thinks Final Fantasy 20 years ago was like, and it shows you like Final Fantasy 4 or 6. Or it's the same thing for Mario, and it shows you like Super Mario World.
I've seen the Mario one, yeah.
And then it goes, whatever game 20 years ago actually was. And it's Final Fantasy X and Mario Sunshine. And I go, oh! We are as far now, I saw this one a few days ago too, we are as far now from the time that the Breakfast Club happens as the Breakfast Club was from like the 1950s or whatever. I guess it'd be the 40s now. And my brain looked at that and broke. It just... It's like, no, it's not. That was the 80s, which is... Oh, son of a bitch. It's really weird how that works. Like, anything past a certain point, my brain goes, that was like 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not.
Nope. Like 20 years ago, we were in college.
Right? If we made a movie like Grease now, it would be in about the 90s. Oh!
Oh my. Oh. That's funny and yet not funny.
And yet terrifying.
At the same time. Yeah. Oh my god.
You turned 30 on the second. Shit is unreal. Yeah, I turned 40 last year. It's also unreal.
Man, yeah, when I turned 30, that was like I was just sitting there thinking, it's like, wow. Like when my dad was my age now, it's like I was already like, 4 or 5 years old. It's like
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, not in my parents' case because they had me late, but still. Yeah, the old man is 78.
oh wow, I wouldn't have thought that.
You know what? I'll tell him you said that. He'll appreciate that.
Okay, good.
I think 78. I think that's right. And mom is 72, 3? Is about to turn 73? I can never remember what year she was born in.
That's surprising to hear too.
Yeah, mom is spry for her age, but then that's what her mom was like. Nana was in her 90s, and you would, well, okay, the last like 3 years you would have known. But before that, you would never have known Nana's ass was that old. So mom gets it honest. Oh my god. Okay. Chat, I don't know how I'm going to show this to you, but Dorks, I took this picture while I was visiting.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you guys? TMP recording. I took this picture while I was visiting, and it was just too funny. We got done with dinner, and we sat there and chatted for a while, and then we got up and came to the living room and sat down, and I looked up, and that was happening. It's both... Oh, wait a minute. Now that I've put it on the computer, I can show it to you guys. Let's see here.
Show us the picture.
I'm working on it.
Hurry up.
This is the parents both sitting there looking at their smartphones, completely ignoring me and each other and the television. And I looked up and I went, what? Because they've only had the smartphones for less than a year. And yet this is already it.
Yeah, that's just how people do.
And I thought it was hilarious because I get fussed at for like looking at my phone while we're sitting there talking. And yet they're so cute. I wanted to name it something like Progress. Where'd chat go? Damn teenagers' noses in their phones, right?
It's about time my parents got off my case.
The old man also mentioned that now that mom is gone, because mom has gone back to Virginia, I don't know if I said this already, to start taking care, actually getting rid of all of the stuff that was at Nana's house, and hopefully getting rid of Nana's house while she's there. But now that she's gone, the old man doesn't have mom to like regulate time and all right, I should get up and cook dinner, or hey, what do you want for dinner? And he said he was sitting there working on a puzzle, because that's what they do now. Didn't have the TV on. Didn't have his phone like right in front of him. He's just working on a puzzle. And he goes, what do I want to eat? Do I want to go get? Nah. I could go get... Nah, that doesn't sound good either. And he said he sat there long enough to where when he finally looked at the time, it was like 7:30. The parents eat dinner sometime between like 4:30 and 5:30 any given night. I was like, what? He said, oh no. I was like, what? Would you just make a sandwich or something? He said, yeah, because I don't want to go out and get something to eat. It's like 7:30. Like, oh my God. He said, yeah, I just heated up the leftover Texas hash. was like, oh, good. How was it? He's like, it was good. Mom said I should give it to you, but I'm going to eat it. I went, that's good. You should eat it. He's like, I only ate half of it, but I'm going to eat the other half too. You don't get any. I'm like, that's fine, old man. I fuss at them constantly. You don't have to give me all the leftovers. Y'all can eat them. And Mom goes, he won't. And he looked at me and goes, I won't. But now that Mom's not there to cook or help him decide what to eat, he's like, I'm going to eat these leftovers. They're so cute. They've gotten into binging things because I got them for 2 Christmases ago. I got them a Fire Stick and loaded it up with apps, and they ignored it for almost a full year. And then for some reason they decided to open it up and poke around, and we're like, wow. And they are now binging things. They've gone through all of the Blacklist. They're almost done with Arrow. Like, I would call, because I call and check in pretty much every day and see how they're doing, because they're old, you know. And I would call and be like, hey, what y'all doing? Oh, we're just watching the Blacklist. Oh, you started watching the Blacklist? Yeah, we started a couple days ago. Well, how you liking it? Well, we're in season 2. What? Mom was like, we don't mess around when we're binging. I'm like, Jesus.
Apparently not. Dirk, as the only other person here with children that you know of, and you have Disney.
Why do I get the feeling that was directed at me?
You're not the only one here. Anyway, and there's chat. So, but we're not going to get into that. And for you listening at home. Anyway, wow, that's a big can of something. Dirk, have you heard of a show called The Owl House?
So the Owl House?
Yes, like the bird.
Not that I know of, no.
I had heard about it. It was originally on Disney XD, and you know how sometimes the shows on those take a while to come over to Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
But it had won some sort of award, an Emmy or something for animation, and so we started watching it. And the first couple of episodes threw me a little bit because the premise is a little weird, but like in a Beetlejuice kind of weird. And as a kid, I was never really into Beetlejuice because I was never into the really creepy, like crawly, like weird stuff. But I grew to appreciate it later. And this one, for the first 2 or 3 episodes, kind of like hit me with some of that, and I'm like, But then, I don't know. And we ended up watching the first season, which is the only season that's out right now, is 19 episodes. And first Sam was like, it's okay. And we watched the 3rd episode, 4th episode, and then we like tore through the rest of the season like we were Chewie's parents or something.
Yeah.
So just like, boom. So I didn't know if you'd heard of it.
No, I'm looking to see what. So my
Last in the
wife
chat
watches.
says that show is amazing.
My wife watches the Secrets of the Zoo stuff, and then Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom. Only thing I've watched, I was watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
What's that about? I'm kidding. I'm kidding before anybody says
it's self-explanatory.
Yes, I know. I'm having fun with people. It's all right.
I know.
It's really good.
Yes, but who's Mephisto?
Oh,
I played that joke out last time, so. You're Mephisto? That explains a lot more than I would care for.
The only thing, like, I agree, it's really good.
Yeah.
Like when we were on vacation.
No spoilers, by the way, Dirk.
Well, no, there's no spoilers. While we were on vacation, I just did not. Like with WandaVision, I could not wait till Friday came so I could watch the episode. But for, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, while we were on vacation, I realized, oh, new episode came out today, and I was in no hurry to get home to watch it.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of mystique and a lot of stuff going on with WandaVision that just is not really there for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And because of that, I've watched it. I'm caught up, but I haven't been like racing home like I gotta watch and find out what happened this go round. I really just haven't had that for this one.
I have. Especially after the end of the... Ah, my elbow again, son of a...
After the end of
Anyway,
the
especially...
last episode,
Especially
yeah.
after the end of the last episode, like that final shot before the credits rolled, I was like,
that was something. Yeah.
so
Chewie,
I'm all on board. As a matter of fact, I'm glad I don't have to go back to Lexington tomorrow to get my taxes, so I can wake up and go watch Falcon Winter Soldier like I do every Friday, and then I can come back here and Gothic and I can hop on a Discord call and go, holy crap, and then it'll be awesome. Anyway, what?
Chewie, Carrie and I finished Cobra Kai, and first season. Well, are you okay?
Oh, it's a hair. Hang on. Okay, my hair's too long, and one got loose out from under the headset and was just rubbing right beneath my eye. But it was just one, so I didn't see it. And so I thought there was like a bug or something flying around in here. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I was like, you told me to watch this show, and like now I'm mentioning it, and you're like spitting, and I'm like, is this like a pox on both your houses?
I was freaking out, right?
That's so last year. Only losers was that show now.
Who watches Cobra Kai in 2021? Idiot.
I never saw a single episode of Tiger King, and I am so proud of that fact. Yeah.
I refuse to watch that.
But, sorry, I was not harumphing Brian. Sorry, Brian. I was being attacked by what I thought was me. I am my own worst enemy. Lit knew all these years they were talking about me. Remember that song? That was by Lit.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Anyway, keep going. Whatever. Okay, Cobra Kai. First season, you liked. I remember you said that.
First season, great. Second season felt like we really couldn't get into it, and I'm no spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen it. It's not like it's been out for a long, long time. But there were certain episodes that really had me. Like, I watch shows with dragons. We're still watching Merlin, The Owl House. But there are some episodes that I'm like, really? Really? Okay, let me just say this one thing. Apparently, no freaking adults live in this godforsaken city. Like, ever. Like, at all.
Nope.
At one point, one character says, I know what I'll do. I'll go to the cops. And I'm like, why didn't you do that, like, 12 episodes ago? But, okay, sure, fine. We have to resolve everything with karate, which I don't think is major spoilers with, Cobra Kai. But, so, second season kind of got out of it. First, shut up, not everybody knew that. But fourth season hasn't come out yet. I'm sorry. First half of the fifth season. Geez, I'm going the wrong way. First half of season 3 kind of was still having some trouble just getting back into it after what happened at the end of season 2. But a little bit, yeah. But toward the end of season 3, felt like it was really picking up. Carrie and I talked about it a little bit, and one of the reasons she wasn't super amped to even watch in the first place was she was like, I hope it's not just all about, I hope it's not super violent. I hope it's not just about the karate. And we felt like there were certainly episodes where character development, watch what flips and kicks we can do. And like to the point that it was almost distracting. And some of the violence was like, okay. But we seem to get back on track toward the end of the third season. And I'm honestly like the way it ends, I'm kind of wishing that we had a little bit, yeah, a little bit. So yeah, so kind of had a back and forth with it, but I can honestly say that when season 4 comes out, I will be primed and ready to enjoy. So, gentlemen, uh, I'm gonna head out. It is after 10 o'clock, and it's been a super busy week. And tomorrow looks to be the busiest day of them all. So, but I will be seeing on the internet some of you in a couple days. So, I hope everybody is doing all right and all that good jazz. And I'll see you soon. Okay.
Okie doke.
All right. Good night.
I watched Karate Kid back in the day, and I know that there were lots of other movies and blah 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 with regards to it. I When they said, "Oh, we're going to do a Cobra Kai," I had absolutely no interest in it. I even now have absolutely no interest in watching it. Chelsea has no interest in it. Obviously, the kids have no interest because they've never seen Karate Kid. So I am afraid I have to be the party pooper in all this. Now I did see part of that one, but only because I was there. It was the zombies had a song in there that I was like, I want to know what that song is, and so I found out what the song was that the zombies sing. No, Cranberries. Sorry, it's the Cranberries, and because I was like, they sing the song "Zombie," but that's not the song
Oh,
that I was.
wow! It
It,
turned so I muted myself while I was making noise, like not for you guys, but for chat, and I forgot to unmute, so they didn't hear like half of the most of everything that I just said. Oh well. Thanks, Gothic. This is why you shouldn't. This is why it don't. I shouldn't use mute there. I should mute everywhere.
Here's mute, there, mute everywhere.
Damn it. Sorry about that,
Well,
chat. I was trying to spare your ears and ended up screwing it up. It's what I do. I'm bad at this game.
it happens.
I am just the worst.
But that's why you had me talk, wasn't it?
Yeah, except then I would respond to you and nobody could hear me, so. Gothic Fox was like, is someone muted? And I went, no, no one. Oh, shit, I'm muted. Idiot. God.
That's okay. There's been times that I've been responding and been like, okay, guys, why you keep talking? Wait a second. Dang it.
Yeah, see, but then no one can hear you, so someone
So
points
yeah,
it out faster.
whenever you guys are cutting in on me and everything and talking over me, I'm like, okay, I know it happens sometimes, but shouldn't be this bad. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, dang it, the thing's blinking, which means I'm muted.
Yeah,
That would
like,
be the reason why.
like it's
You know,
one
Mike,
thing for
Mike,
Brian
the
to
nicest
talk
guy
over me.
ever, is cutting in on my conversation and won't stop while I'm trying to say something.
Yeah, it's one thing for Brian to cut in on you, but now Mike's doing it, and that ain't right.
It is like when Mike's doing, I'm going, okay, something's up. Let me check.